Hello there, MegaMogwai here, and I got another Legends of Runeterra video for you guys today. And today, the background is quite fitting for the video, as we're going to be building a deck around LUX right here. I have been looking into the lore surrounding LUX, by the way, and I'm a big fan of, the whole theme of Demacia being this, isolated kingdom that doesn't really like magic, kind of like a feeling fueled by insecurity, and LUX being a secret mage that, has to stay hiding from her own people. I find that, I don't know, from a writing perspective, that's really interesting setting, and it's a champion that I've been really wanting to dwell into for quite some time. My girlfriend is not a huge fan because she says she reminds her of Starlight from The Boys, and she says that's a very boring character, and she's a little bit, too happy-go-lucky. She's like, oh, let's do this for the power of goodness and Bambi and whatever. Yeah, I understand, but I still think she's a very interesting character, and she's a very interesting card. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we have what I like to call Purify spell LUX control deck. So the idea is we're utilizing Heimerdinger and LUX in a spell driven deck to generate massive value in the late game and overwhelm our opponent with removal, turrets, and sparks, and all that good stuff. So Heimerdinger is our 5-mana champion of choice that we're running as a 3 of. My favorite champion in Legends of Runeterra. That is no mystery to most of you. And it's just a blast to play him in this deck as well. And LUX, in a way, acts like an extra 2 copies of Heimerdinger. Even though she works slightly differently, she actually mixes really well with Heimerdinger. They both work really well together because they benefit from the same things. And LUX is a very powerful champion in the right shell. She's a 6-mana 3/4 with barrier, which makes her harder to remove through sources of damage as she enters the board. And she has a level of requirement that is pretty easy to achieve with this deck. I've seen you cast 6 or more mana worth of spells, then you create a fleeting final spark in hand. So when she levels up, it's basically the same. She's just gaining more stats, but it's, back to the same ability. Whenever you build up 6 mana or more of worth of spells that you're casting, you're going to be generating final sparks in your hand. So you want to be very aware of, your sequencing when it comes to your spells, because one of the things about LUX is that if I cast a 5-mana spell, right? And then she's 5 out of 6. And I cast a 3-mana spell after that, that extra 2 mana will not float towards the next stage, right? It'll just reset at 0. So this really should affect your sequencing to make sure you maximize the mana value of your cards and you're able to get as many final sparks as you can. What is a final spark? Well, pretty simply, it's a 0-mana slow spell with overwhelm, which can be a little bit confusing at first, and it deals 4 damage to an enemy unit. For 0 mana, 4 damage to any enemy unit in the board. And with overwhelm, this means that if you're hitting a unit with 1 health, for example, that extra 3 damage that you dealt with the spell will be delivered to the opposing nexus, which is a pretty relevant aspect of this card. So how does this deck work besides that? Well, we are mainly a spell-driven deck, but we do have some creatures to play on board. Our 2-drop of choice is this the Chempunk Pickpocket, which I just will never learn how to pronounce properly because that's just such a weird play on words for me. I don't know, maybe as a Spaniard it's hard for me to say, but I love this 2-drop, and this 2-drop is really solid in this deck. By the way, I think I forgot to mention, very important to note this deck idea was provided to me by Zedalot, who is a Hearthstone streamer who's been streaming a lot of Runeterra recently. So in case you guys want to check him out, I got to give him a shout out because this is my own variant of the deck. It's quite different from his, but the initial idea is his. And I'll explain what the actual, cheeky idea of this deck revolves around in just a minute. But big shout out to Zedalot for the deck concept. Really, really cool. And I've been having a lot of fun and success with this in Masters Rank. But yeah, Pickpocket is a fantastic 2-drop. We have Succession, which is a 3-mana summon a Dauntless Vanguard, which is a 3-mana 3/3 basically, as a way to have a 3-mana 3/3 play that also is a spell, which happens to synergize with Heimerdinger and LUX. And then on 4 mana, we have Chumpwump, which gives us Mushroom Clouds in hand that we can utilize to potentially rummage or trigger some spells to generate some turrets or progress LUX's final spark generation by, 1 mana, which can sometimes, if we play something like Detain, it can be just the sort of card that we need. So these are our creatures. When it comes to the spells, there's one big aspect, one big combo that really makes this sort of deck worthwhile. While we have some pretty standard stuff for spell-driven Heimerdinger lists such as Thermogenic Beam and Mystic Shot and Get Excited as a full set of each, alongside Flash of Brilliance, which works not only great with Heimerdinger but also Lux for pretty obvious reasons, we have our prime source of removal, and the reason for this deck's name in Detain. And Detain is our 5 mana removal that can deal with any follower or champion the opponent has, which is really strong just for 5 mana, as we have an ally capture a unit. So we choose one of our allies, may it be a champion or a follower, then we target the opponent's opposing unit, which can be a follower or a champion. Very important that this card can interact with champions, and we exile it. We remove it from the board. Like, we don't even trigger its last breath. We're not killing it, we're capturing it, which means it's just completely banished, and it's as if it was never there, except it is tied to the unit that captured it. So as you guys can see here, it returns what the capturing unit leaves play. So the cheeky combo here is we're running a full set of Purify, and while Purify can be utilized, you know, reactively towards the opponent, dealing, for example, with one of their elusive units by taking away the elusive keyword and any sort of buffs, which this card does not specify, but it also removes buffs from a unit. This card can also be used on our own followers. So if we detain a unit and target one of our followers, like, you know, our Pickpocket, our Dauntless Vanguard, or one of our turrets, whatever, we target, we capture something and that unit has detained it. If we purify that follower of ours, we take away all the text and keywords, which means that that unit will no longer return the captured unit upon removal from the board, which is outstanding because, for example, we can use a little turret to attain a Hecarim, and then when the opponent tries to remove that little unit with like a Vile Feast or something, we purify it in response at burst speed, and all of a sudden, we don't care if that little turret dies, our opponent will never get his Hecarim back, which is the whole point of this deck, and it makes Detain such an amazing source of single target removal in this build. It's actually crazy. So that's generally the idea. We have Prismatic Barrier to protect our prime engines here in Heimerdinger and Lux. As for 3 mana, we can give an ally barrier. We have a lot of 3 mana spells here because we love Heimerdinger's 3 mana invention in the Floor Begone, because it's elusive. Elusives are good, and it helps us in the elusive matchups, and I guess it helps us as well against non-elusive matchups too. So that is the deck list right there. I went on a little bit of a ramble, but I really like it. It's super fun to play, and I got some high quality games for you guys today. I think you're going to enjoy them. We're going to be facing some top tier meta decks in Masters Ranked as we run into a couple of elusives and Shadow Isles fearsomes as well. And that way you guys can see this deck against the big dogs. So hopefully you enjoy the matches, enjoy the games, and leave a like and subscribe for daily Legends of Runeterra content. It helps. You know, the likes do help my videos reach out to other people, so I would really appreciate it. It's free. Free is good, and I guess I'll stop with a self-promotion right there. Have a soul day. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right, here we go. Against the Lion King. Consider me intimidated. So Purify is very interesting, but in this matchup, if they try to buff up Fiora, Purify will not be able to target it. So I'm going to keep Succession because this could mean turn 2, 3, 3 to start applying a little bit of pressure. I think I may drop everything else. I like having Lux, but not so early on in the match. I mean, Prismatic Barrier is nice as well, but I feel like I could mulligan for other resources, and I like this much, much better. Mystic Shot early on, and the Pickpocket. So instead of going for the Succession here, we're going to try to see if we can connect with this.
I got the goods.
Because that would be a pretty neat way to start things off. Like a clean hit with, ooh, Key Guardian. That means no answer. Let's take some goods, baby. Riposte. I like it. I like it. This guy is so much value if he goes unanswered. It's insane. My opponent plays something like a Fiora now. We don't really care.
By my honor, you must die.
Oh no, a sword. Sorry. Alright, let's.
For the honor of Shrine.
I can always just shoot you down. Unless he has like a +1/+1. We'll trade these two gladly. Beautiful. We get to float more mana than our opponent. And I think Chump Wump is a play.
Put on me mask, secure me tail, start the day.
I could always play just the Succession and float 3 mana exactly to be able to have Heimerdinger enabled with 3 mana, like in case I draw like Flash of Brilliance and other 3 mana cards like Prismatic Barrier. But because my hand right now doesn't really work towards that, I'm gonna play Chump Wump instead. Get a solid 4/4 unit on the board.
They picked the wrong road.
And I'm gonna attack.
Arr.
We could see a riposte, but if that's the case, my opponent does tap out. He loses his Pell mana, carried over to the next turn, and I think I'm okay with this. If you have a riposte, then play it. Like, we get it out of him. He's thinking about it. He's thinking about me having like a Mystic Shot, since I do have 2 mana. So if he lets his attack go through, that's great for us. Because I also got information, quote unquote. Like, I'm 99% certain this guy has a riposte in his hand. Very, very certain. And he's just debating on whether he should use it or not. Very certain he has it. Maybe he also has like a Fiora here that he wants to drop, and he's prioritizing that.
The order reward.
Or a Shadow Assassin. All right. Well, this Blade Scout is going to lose its elusiveness, which means I can very easily block it now as we draw into a progress day. All right. Silent as death. I don't think if I play. I mean, I'm just gonna pass and wait for him to attack, honestly.
For a leap of faith.
All right. Those are a lot of elusives. We're gonna take a big hit here, but at the same time, we may as well drop Heimerdinger and start going for value. All right. We have detains, we have successions, and we could be using these successions to generate. I believe that's my best play, right? I like to start generating elusive so I can block these people. But I think I may lead off with no. I don't think I need to lead off with an attack here. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Now, whether I'll go double succession or not depends on how my opponent starts playing into this. We may see a deny here. Yeah, that's completely fine.
Shoot! That was years in the making.
We'll try again.
For the honor of my house. My most groundbreaking invention to date.
We're definitely going to be floating this mana. We're going to be attacking with you.
Oh, please.
Get that trade. And basically try to not lose 2 elusives here. I like that Purify. I like that Purify a lot. We can surprise, remove elusive status from this.
Quietly. Something for the road.
And yeah, I'm just gonna be reactive here.
They'll never see me coming.
This guy is all about the elusives. Alright, so we're going to be doing this first. Onto you. Setting up a nice blocker here. We're gonna play you here. And I think we can take the attack from these 3 for now. See what they do. Purify really putting in the work there. Like I said, if my opponent tries to do something here, we can detain. If not, we can just take the hit. You know, we drop down to 7. It's not great, but at the same time,
It's smaller than the diagram.
I could have gone for detain there, but I was waiting for my opponent to do something else.
Looking for a daring escape.
I guess I want to detain that just to apply some pressure. I'm going to what am I going to target here? I guess Heimerdinger, right? Like, what can he do now? He could single combat me, but that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna do this. Actually, what if he has like a Will of Ionia? But I would like to attack with all these next turn. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna detain. I'm gonna fund police and generate a quick attacker turret. Then I'm gonna try to overwhelm him here. Float the mana as well.
Everything's better with company.
Says you.
Nozzle design enables rapid projectile firing.
This represents 5, 9, 12, 14.
Quietly. Got what I came for.
Which means this man has to get blocking. I think going head on with an attack here is the best thing.
This one's trouble. Looking for this?
I get to play Succession and generate an elusive blocker, and I also have double detain, so I will be aiming to float my mana quite a bit next turn. So I think this is a fine approach. Like I could have like gone for something like the Progress Day into a T-Hex, but that just gets easily chump blocked here. We see a Key Guardian. All right, we're gonna go for this. I could have gone for the Dauntless Vanguard here.
These are dangerous lands.
My most groundbreaking invent. Everything can use an upgrade.
All right, 4 million IQ time. Let's go. I also want to drop. I want to drop some mushrooms because I can always draw into a rummage. So I'm not really in a hurry to play these actually. Like I'd rather keep them in my hand for potential discard outlets. Oh, there's Lux. A bit late for Lux at this stage of the game though, as I'm aiming to end this game close here. But Lux is, if I had some space on the board, Lux is actually pretty fantastic. I am fine with this. As long as he's not representing lethal, I don't need to do anything else. Now he is. Which means I will be targeting you. And if he does, like if he has a deny or something, I have another detain. So if he has like another back-to-back, I can detain again. Or that. How about we fund police again? This time I will choose you. Gotcha, son. Detained, motherfucker! Hey! Oh, that feels satisfying. Oh, I don't know what it is about elusives, man, but taking him down like that just feels way too good. So we played the reactive game plan. We let them think that they could just burst on us and, you know, ignore blockers in the game. And we said no as we fun policed them out of there. Not bad. Let's go on to the next one. Alright, some more Demacia Ionia action. This time Zed instead of Fiora. We know the champion doesn't really matter too much regarding these decks. We know what our opponents are all about with them elusives. I do like Thermo Beam and Succession in my opening hand. I'm actually going to mulligan away the Rummage. Rummage is a nice card to go through my deck, but I don't like it in my opening hand, especially with this deck, as only Chump Wump really enables it early on. I think I keep the rest here. Like I said, Succession is decent. Okay, there we go, Heimerdinger. Succession is pretty decent because I can always turn 2-3-3. And a turn 2-3-3 is pretty solid. So we like to keep it there. And obviously Thermogenic Beam is absolutely outstanding in the early stages of the match. But then whenever I plan to play the Succession, the deck just gives me pickpocket. It's just like, nope, you're gonna do this instead. So
Take from the rich, give to me.
and we get another attack.
On this one.
Hell yeah. What we getting? What we getting? Oh, okay. Well, let's keep this in mind. All right, we can surprise our opponent quite a bit. I love that flash of brilliance. All right, we definitely should be expecting some sort of like trick here. Like, if it's a twin disciplines, there's not much we can like. We can hit this for. Let's try. I mean, this is obviously going to get answered in some shape or form, but if it is a deny, we can finish it off with a thermal beam. But if it is a twin disciplines, okay, you know what? Not much we can do there, but we can proceed to finish off with a thermal beam.
What's actually got there?
We have to use this as a blocker to prevent not only the damage, but also him from leveling up as we try to finish off Zed here. With this, I mean, I don't know what other, like, the +1/+1 for a turn could save him there. But, you know, we got rid of Zed. Zed is a big threat. So that's nice. I do just want to pass here because I want to be able to play Heimerdinger next turn with Flash of Brilliance and Prismatic Barrier. Yeah, it's the Blade Scout again.
Time for a leap of faith.
Okay. In come the elusives, but fortunately we do have not only that, but Purify is fantastic in this scenario. But now, ooh, and Lux. Okay, I'm liking this.
Something for the road.
Let's play Heimerdinger.
To be the problem.
The problem, Heimerdinger, is that we're just playing players who play units that cannot be blocked. That's the problem. Let's let that go through, and then let's proceed to do this. Stand alone. Stand alone. Dude, I'm gonna do this. Hashtag Fake Boy Heimerdinger.
My most groundbreaking invention.
Was that correct? I mean, it feels like it was. Like a 4/6 Heimerdinger?
Round and round it goes.
How is that not correct? How's that? Like, that has to be, right? I just kind of want to go for the attack directly.
I concur.
He concurs, so we're good to go. All right.
You call that sneaky?
That's interesting, buddy. But what have you got to say to this? Surprise, motherfucker. We hit him back and we keep playing more elusives. You know, we can play your game all day, every day.
My most groundbreaking invention to date.
Get thermo beamed, bitch. And I think we're gonna surprise rally him next turn. Full blast! We're the elusives now. Time for the level up too.
Round it goes.
Progress! Science, technology, brain cells versus ninjas. And I love how we got this surprise relentless pursuit, and get excited gives us reach as well. So this deck is great at playing elusives. This deck is great at buffing, but they're not that great at board wiping. And that is fantastic. I'm actually just gonna chill here. I got blockers for days, son.
These are dangerous lands.
Cool story, bruh. I'm gonna purify your ass. Or not, okay. Yeah, we have an answer to both, like, we have an answer to this going for judgment. Yeah, let's do this. I'm not gonna attack with Heimerdinger though.
Engines don't determine themselves.
Take away the elusive and the lifesteal from that. Again, I am a little bit concerned about a judgment here. Even though we do have an answer, judgment plus deny. Okay. Sure thing, buddy. Someone's quite low. We got lethal with this, but we can also try to surprise him with a relentless pursuit first. Oh, well. I got that too, buddy. And guess what? You're passing priority over to me. Is that a deny? Is that a deny? Well, this is a monkey, which will kill you. GG, buddy. Ah, nice. That's so good. Oh, I never get tired of having Digger. Maybe I'm gonna actually showcase Lux though. I would really like to do that. So let's see if we can. All right, some good old Shadow Isles. You know what? I have Lux in my opening hand. I'm actually gonna keep her because I want to showcase Lux. Goddammit! So I'm gonna keep this hand because turn 2 succession. Again, pretty nice. Even though whenever I say this, we draw the pickpocket and we change our minds anyways. But to be fair, there's a lot of things that can make me change plans here. We're facing a deck with Elise and probably a 3 of, which means we're very likely to have to resort to a turn 2 thermogenic beam. So let's pass here first. As you're not biting anybody, woman. You're getting blasted to this shadow realm. Quenched. Get out of my face. Alright, so we deal with Elise right then and there. We have to get excited as well in case a second one drops. This is fine. I'm gonna go for you to generate a blocker for the Skitterer. And we're not able to float any mana, but I will gladly take these trades. Does he have like a Mark of the Owls or something, or is he thinking? I will always take this trade. Yep. Alright. I am going to attack. For the fallen! It's like, bro, I don't care about this exchange. I'm completely fine with it. I will take my free damage in case you're not happy with it yourself. Though a Mistwraith here would be problematic, but our opponent doesn't seem to have it. We do see, okay, so we have the Detain plus the Purify. I'm gonna pass here. Even though this would be good. I wanna, my opponent's not doing anything. He probably has a bit of a reactive hand, so I wanna be able to play Lux here.
Everywhere I go, the light follows.
Since we do have the barrier. Now, I can't just attack with Lux because Vile Feast could pop my barrier and then they could exchange there. So I'm just gonna float this mana for now. I'm also, like, in case my opponent wants to like go for something like a Glimpse Beyond, like a proactive one, I'd rather make sure that I always have the reactive power here. We also want to play around Rasa, so we don't necessarily want to resort to, we're not gonna trade here, we're gonna take the hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, I am slightly concerned about a Rasa. He's already gotten his attack off though, so I'm gonna go for this.
It's so beautiful. I've been hiding my light too long.
La 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 la. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 10, so I believe I can drop you.
I got the goods.
I'm still concerned about like a Glimpse Beyond into a Rasa, which is why I didn't want to do this. I wanted to go for the Rummage, but I'm not sure what I want to discard with the Rummage. Yeah, this is gonna be a Rasa. Oh, okay, or not. Yeah, that's fine.
Save me, Luke.
I wasn't able to get the final spark, by the way. I made a mistake because the way I maxed out at cards, which means I wasn't able to do that. We're gonna pass here. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, to be fair, would I want to use that this turn anyways? Because I don't want to enable Rasa, so like I wouldn't want to use that fleeting spark unless my opponent like starts playing into this. Yeah, there it is. I would like to be able to counter that, but I can't. But at least this prevents This prevents Rasa from being played now. We could see Hecarim go down here though, but we gotta pass. Okay, so my opponent just may dump a spear into a Mystic Shot here to deal with Lux. Okay. Alright, so that's one threat that he's dealt with, but fortunately for us, we do have Heimerdinger as well. How much mana are we looking at here? Total of 9. I can work with 9.
Answers. I have them.
Power of Science. We don't ever want to play into Rasa. Not until we get our little gadgets going. So I think I may actually want to rummage here. I may very well want to rummage. The question is, what do I draw? Because I do pretty much like all of my cards here. I like the Detain into Purify. Like that means I can stop any you know, like anything. Like I can deal with anything. Except, you know, I need a turret for that, but that's what Heimerdinger is for, right? Like Detain into Purify is incredibly powerful. So I gotta do things right here. I mean, I didn't get to showcase Lux in this game, but my opponent took a lot of resources to deal with her, right? My opponent's trying to finish off Heimerdinger here. I think I'm going to drop the... I'm going to drop you. And I'm going to drop one Mystic Shot.
Too many ideas, not enough hands.
Purify, and there's a Lux. I don't see any other way to protect Heimerdinger here if he just has the answers. But what I can do is
Must begin somewhere.
I can start setting up these yeah, we may just see another Mystic Shot go down here. I would like to Mystic Shot you. I mean, what am I... Okay, I may be concerned about a Black Spear, so let's actually pass here. We have a Purify with the Fearsome, but I don't want to give back initiative to my opponent.
Don't determine themselves.
I would like to shoot this down, though. No, it's not playing today. Let's just pass here. We're floating a lot of mana. We can counter a Mark of the Isles play here. We're willing to take 5 damage from his current board state, and we can also start. You know, we can set up another Lux potentially. If we see a Hecarim, we can. Problem is a Vile Feast. How many Vile Feasts has he played? 2, right? No, he's only played 1. So I'm gonna go for the Mystic Shot here. This Ladros is hitting us for a shitload of damage, but the idea is I can detain it and then I can purify my unit, but I don't want it to be this little guy because he can just react to that with an immediate Vile Feast to kill it. Even though Mystic Shot is also a probability, I believe he's played 2 Mystic Shots. I can purify this. I could prevent the card draw there. I think I have to. I think I must. I think preventing the card draw is absolutely vital. Let's go for you. Generate a blocker.
And round it goes.
And now we have the detain for this. And we can, if he tries to deal with the Shredder, we can purify beforehand. Let's have this little guy, this little thing, detain that huge ass threat.
Launches at record velocities.
Get you in there. Call that a turn. Always keep the Purify enabled. That's fantastic though. Let's just go for this immediately. That's pretty solid. I want to bait my opponent to like get rid of this, so I'm gonna play you now.
My most groundbreaking invention to date.
We're pretty close to leveling up. My opponent doesn't go for an attack there, which is interesting. Because I could have just played Lux. Probably should have just played Lux, right? The problem is I can't do this or that.
We can do this.
I think I always want to purify this. Very close though. There's not. I don't want to discard these though. Okay, so I definitely want to attack with you. I definitely want to attack with all these.
And all things bright.
Let's attack here. If my opponent somehow like uses this and pops my barrier, like that's actually something I'm okay with. Like if he wants to interact with Lux this way, because what I can do is I can finish off. Okay, interesting. Surprise, motherfucker. Oh, you thought you had me there, huh, buddy? You thought you had me there. And he was thinking about using that Vile Feast on this, but he saved it for that. I think now we are going to rummage these two away.
The answer is here somewhere.
I love that Flash of Brilliance. You're at 2.
Requires just 1.21 gigahertz. Advancing collective.
We get exactly the 4 million IQ level up here. And now we just gotta survive the next hit. We gotta survive the next hit. I think there's an argument for going for thermogenic beam here, but at the same time, I think not. Let's just keep it like this. I mean, there is an argument, to be honest. Next turn I'm gonna be at 10 mana. No, let's just pass. Thermo beam can be really reliable. I will always use Lux to block Hecarim, by the way. Hell yeah. Alright, so you into you.
Never back down from what you believe.
You into you. You into you. You into you. You into you.
Solution.
I mean, how afraid am I of this?
Oh dear.
We have protection for Heimerdinger anyways. And with this blocking these final sparks, I can start retaliating here. And taking it to the Shadow Isles player. What you got for me? Nice. I could go for this immediately, but I'm afraid of a Rasa, naturally. So if a Rasa happens, or we just kill him, okay. I was thinking about Rasa there, but I was gonna final spark the Hecarim eventually, but I was gonna drop the pickpocket first in case he had a Rasa. I would lose my Heimerdinger, but I would keep Lux, right? And I would be able to react to his play with like a 8 mana. Basically, I could go for the progress day, sorry. And then I would have 2 final sparks, which means I could kill Hecarim, I could shoot something else, and Lux was pretty much gonna carry me there. So I had really good games. Heimerdinger shined more than Lux in the video, even though Lux has been doing amazing for me as I playtested this deck, but at the same time, that's what you get with a live recording, right? We do have 2 copies of Lux and 3 copies of Heimerdinger, so it's to be expected. But I'm still gonna put her in the thumbnail, goddammit, because this deck is possible thanks to her, and I just, you know, she's very important for the deck, even though, you know, 3 games is a very small sample size, right? But I'm really happy about those matches though, because I played 2 elusive decks and a Shadow Isles deck, so basically top tier meta matches right there, and we managed to climb quite a bit actually through Masters. Which just showcases just how strong this deck can be. Triple Detain with triple Purify is super legit, and we have all the tools to really get Heimerdinger going and Lux as well. I love what Succession does to the deck, providing us with a 3/3 for 3, but also as a spell, which means it works with Heimerdinger. And we know Heimerdinger prefers the 3-mana spells more than anything for the elusive turrets. And Lux is really good, honestly. Lux is very, very underplayed. Just really, really a big fan of this deck. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it as much as I did playing it. Try it out yourselves if you have the cards. And that's all I gotta say. Have a soul day. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for daily Legends of Runeterra content. Subscribe for more. And I'll stop it with the self-promotion. Hope you enjoyed the games. I'll see you tomorrow.